I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret in front of me. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff.
I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy, only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and it's a little late night for me to be on here. Had to take a little longer break. I was going to come on earlier, but I was tired from this morning. I did a 2.5 hour show, and I'm like, okay, I'm tired. So I had a pretty long day today. I said I was going to come back at night, and here I am. I'm a man of my word. And it's going to be interesting because the Ouija board, right, was predicting today will be some kind of end. The end of what? The end of the world? I don't know. The only thing that I saw that happened today was what Trump called Putin crazy. We had a little, I wouldn't call it mass shooting, but there was a shooting at a mall not too far from where I'm at, and it made headline news, national news actually. Um, I don't know the full extent of what's going on there, but I could look up. Let me see if I could look it up, see if there's anything on the news to give a update on the crazy shooting at the Brass Mill Center Mall, and they're saying there's mass injuries. Um, I don't know the total amount yet. I have to look it up myself and see if I could find out how many people were injured, how many people got shot. I heard there were underage kids that got shot. Let me pull up the news station here in Connecticut and see if there's any information on the shooting, which there should be. It says multiple victims of shooting at the mall. So this was about an hour ago. So let me go ahead and bring that up here, because it is breaking news still. I don't know if they got the shooter. I don't know anything about it. I heard when it broke out. It was about 4:40 this afternoon, where there was a shooting at the mall, and a couple of, I don't know if they're underage or what, they got shot up, and I think a little girl got really badly hurt. She was bleeding a lot, they're stating, and she was rushed to the hospital. Good thing the hospital from there is not that far. It's actually like less than 2 minutes. So I'm pretty sure they got her right straight into that hospital. But let's go ahead and let me set it up real quick. Let me set it up, and we can watch real quick what happened locally for me. I don't live in this city, but I'm not too far from this mall, which is not surprising. Something like this was to happen. I wonder who was the shooter and what was the motive behind the shooting. So let me finish up setting this up real quick, and we'll check it out together. I'm a little slow tonight. My fingers, everything started hurting, and my back hurts. Everything hurts. It's supposed to rain here, so I'm not feeling too good. We'll go to that Ouija board prediction video again one more time. I have questions about that video, so we'll hold that for a second, and let's go to this shooting that happened earlier today, not too far from me. So let me set this up real quick here. Where is it? It's over here, actually. So let's bring this here and let's start it up, and I'll stay quiet and listen.
That breaking news is in Waterbury, where police are reporting 5 people are hurt in a shooting at the Brass Mill Center. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you the area here. Officials are urging everyone to stay away from here while they investigate. Your reporter, Amanda Callahan, live at the scene right now. And I know that police just updated you, Amanda. What did you learn?
Well, Stephanie, of course, it's still an ongoing investigation, but we did just get some new information from police. Like you said, 5 people were shot here at the mall this afternoon. They were all taken to the hospital. And as far as the police chief knows, he said all of them are expected to survive. Now, we don't know the ages or their identities at this time. But again, 5 people were shot. He also told us that they believe it is just one gunman. They believe it's a male in his 20s. And no, he is not in custody. Now, we're going to show you a different angle.
Wow,
This
he got
entire
away.
mall area
No,
here, the Brass Mill Center, is surrounded by a police presence. You can see a number of state troopers down there, Waterbury police officers. We still have that main area that's blocked off at the mall with ambulances and fire trucks. They're still working to secure this area, but they don't believe there is any immediate threat here at the mall. The gunman is not in custody, but they do believe that he took off from the scene at this time. They're working to track him down. They said that he used a semi-automatic pistol. They were able to figure that out from shell casings that they found in the mall.
Okay, so
but they do not have the weapon in custody. They also told us they don't believe this is a random act of violence, but it was a fight that escalated, and they got the report of a disturbance call around 4:40. They said law enforcement was here within just a matter of minutes. They were able to clear out the mall, but they said that a reason that there is still such a large presence here is because people were sheltering in place inside the mall when they heard those gunshots. So they have to go through with canines and clear out every single store and make sure that the mall is completely cleared out. Not sure if the mall is going to be open tomorrow, but they're working with mall security. Again, state police, Waterbury police, this is a very large investigation. They're still trying to track down the gunman. But again, we just learned that 5 people were taken to the hospital after they were shot here this afternoon. But again, as of right now, no fatalities to report. Of course, we will continue to keep you updated both on air and online as we're working to learn more details. This is an ongoing investigation. Reporter live in Waterbury, Amanda Callahan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
So they got shot up. Seems like there was a fight that broke out. The kid was in his 20s, so it's not really a kid; it's an adult, a young adult. So, but minors were shot and injured, which is not good. Good thing nobody was killed, so that's really good. How do I feel about the story? Well, I don't live too far from that mall. I don't live far from that mall. I can make it to that mall in like 10 minutes. That's how close that mall is to me. And it made national news. And five individuals, they don't know the ages because they don't want to specify. They don't want to tell you the ages, but they were young individuals. And it's weird because we already had like 2 back-to-back situations already. I told you guys it's going to be a wild situation, wild summer, wild, time. This is like, be careful in large gatherings. I told you guys this the other day, and I'll emphasize it again. Be careful with your surroundings. And enjoy life, but just be careful, just keep vigilant. Look at all directions, make sure, nobody's sneaking up from behind you and causing chaos. Don't let them catch you by surprise, pretty much. But day two, and we had that crazy 11 people got shot up in Philadelphia. Now we got 5 other people that got shot up at a mall here in Waterbury, Connecticut. What else? That's pretty much it. Trump called Putin crazy. And other news, um, was the Ouija board wrong? About today, because supposedly the Ouija board mentioned that today was something big was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be like the end of the world, and I didn't feel it like it was going to be the end of the world or something. But maybe something had ended today, and I'm still like skeptical about it because of the fact that okay, she wrote down all this information, right? So every time, my problem is there's no documentation. If you're gonna do a session like that and you're gonna be talking to some kind of entity like that and you're gonna be jotting down information, wouldn't you record it? I mean, for me, I come with receipts. I come with evidence. I like to show you, boom, this is what it is. And I just think back in 2013, I guess it was July 2013 when they had this experience when they spoke to an individual named Seven. Um, not the Seven that I know. Seven Serpents is one person that I know. Cool person too, really cool. But the thing is that she had all this documentation on a notebook, right? But I don't understand how would you do that, because if you're spelling out every single thing, what time do you have to break and then write down everything and then continue and then write down everything and then continue and then write down everything? Like, I'm like trying to break it down and break down the story. I'm like, I'm not saying that I don't believe her, but I'm like, how the hell did you document it, all this during a session? I don't understand. I have the Ouija board myself, and there's no way in hell that I could stop a session just to write down everything and then continue, with the session, and then breaking it off every I guess question and answer. It just I don't get it. I really don't get it. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna play that video, and this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna play it, of this individual from TikTok. Um, Supposedly, some demon on the Ouija board was predicting that May 27, 2025 was going to be the end of the world. I mean, I don't know. Unless the timing's off, unless she messed up with the binary code, it seems like this might be a dud. So let's go ahead and show this video for the last time, and yeah, you form your opinion. Give me 1 second. Let me set it up here real quick.
So, given the state of the world right now, I feel compelled to share with TikTok something I don't talk about very often, that because it makes me sound insane. And I don't know if it's real or not, or what it is. But basically, since 2013, me and my husband have essentially been talking to something on a Ouija board that goes by the name of Seven, who has been telling us that the world is going to end May 27th, 2025. And I have pages and pages and pages of our correspondence with this thing, like pages and pages and pages. And I have it here raw, just what I've written down, and I have it on Google Docs. In Google Docs, it comes out to like 80 some pages. And I should preface this by saying I'm a normal person. My husband's a normal person. We have jobs. We're not witches. We're not Satanists. We don't do stuff like this. We started this as for fun in 2013. July 2013. We had nothing else to do. We got on a Ouija board for fun. And it just kind of took off from there. And we have continued to talk to it. And I should also say, we're not like super smart people, right? We're not like geniuses, but this thing kind of seems like it is. Let me show you. So it does stuff like speak in binary. By speak, I mean, it's giving us ones and zeros to write down on the Ouija board. I'm recording.
This is what I mean, right? The only way they could do this if they had like a third person, right? If they had a third person, and during the third person they could write down everything while two people are on the planchette and going, and this is weird because it's going 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 1. Like, it would be such a weird going back and forth like that on the Ouija board. I've never experienced that before, so I don't know which Ouija board she was using. She doesn't show the Ouija board. She doesn't show what type of Ouija board she was using. She's all I see is some ones and zeros, and yeah, let her continue to explain herself.
Recording this, and in the moment we have no idea what this means. We Googled it later. This is again July 2013, and it turns out it's binary, but it's backwards binary. So in this way it meant nothing, but when we reversed the numbers it meant hello, because it does that a lot. It speaks backwards a lot. This is where it gets really crazy. So this was, I guess, the day before.
This is where I don't understand when she says it speaks backwards a lot. When I had my sessions when I was young, never have I ever experienced a Ouija board that spoke in reverse or backwards. It just never happened. And I see she has a lot of writing here, and I wonder who's writing this down and how accurate is this that she's writing.
Because we got kind of addicted.
Because you see, that's a lot of writing, right? So every single time these words gets pushed around on the Ouija board, is she's taking a break to write all this down? Is somebody else writing this down? Because it seems like she's the one that's writing it. So if she's the one that's writing it, then how the hell are you having a session and writing at the same time? It just, to me, it just draws me a little red flags.
So it speaks also in backwards languages that we don't speak. We don't speak it forwards. We don't speak it backwards. This is, I believe it was Latin. I believe it means salutations or something like that. I have all the details in my Google Doc. But this is kind of the way it speaks. It is coming, fire, yes, stop it. A lot of mysterious stuff, a lot of spooky, weird stuff. This is where it gets really weird. We've learned through all this communication that
this is where it gets weird, right? My thing is, how the hell did she get all this information like this and write it down, had the time to write it down? And then this writing here in black is different from what's here in blue. So whose writing is this and whose writing is this? And how did you determine this writing, and how did you write this down while you're in a session? To me, I'm like, that's what drew the red flags to me.
According to 7, there are 5 groups. We are the third contact. Contact 1 failed 24,825 days ago. So from this date, we did the math, that comes out to August 6th, 1945. That is the date that the first atomic bomb was dropped. So my husband knows a lot about history.
Okay, time out. She's trying to plead her case here, but how would they know that was a days to look back on? That could have been hours. That could have been seconds. It could have been anything. But how is it determined? How did she determine that was days? Is my question. So did the Ouija board tell her that it's going to be days?
The exact date that the bomb was dropped. He certainly doesn't know he can't account for leap years. I mean, he's good at math, but he can't do math like that. It's perfect. Math is perfect. He can't do stuff like that. I can't do stuff like that. So the fact that it's a perfect more than once, I'll show you other examples here, is really scary. It's scary. It goes on to say contact 2 succeeded 18,534 days ago, which was August, I think that's 17th, 1962. I think that had something to do with JFK and the Bay of Pigs.
Okay, she mentioned JFK and the Day of Pigs, right? What does they mean contact 2 succeeded? That did not succeed. Nothing happened. They actually backed off and nothing really transpired. There was a false flag event that happened, but cooler heads prevailed and nothing really happened. So that's why I questioned contact 2 seceded. Seceded with what? Because if you're talking about a conflict happening, like the atomic bomb, like she said earlier, um, that's wrong. Contact 2 did not secede. So that's where another red flag pops up.
I'd have to look at my doc, but historically, contact 3, that's us, fails 29,149 days after contact 1.
Okay, so how did they know that is days? Did the Ouija board say that it was days after contact 1? Like this is too like it's too like specific. It's just too how can you say, like, my experiences with the Ouija board, this is a little bit too much. You know what I mean? And the fact that it spelled all this out, I'm drawing like I don't think so. I don't think so. Something is not right with this. I'm just saying, because like that's a lot of writing and that's a lot of moving around with the planchette. And how long was the session? She doesn't specify how long the sessions was, and who was the, like, she said her partner or boyfriend, whatever, was the second person that was involved in this, but there should have been a third person. Usually like to have a third person as a witness and also one to take down the lettering for each pass that goes, and you gotta like pretty much spell it out, but we need someone to write it down. So to me, I'm like, that's where I'm like, I don't know.
4,324 days in your future, which is May 27th, 2025, which it later says. And then, here's some like ancient Sumerian thrown in there just for fun. Again, had no idea what we were writing in the moment, but we later looked it up and kind of broke out the letters and realized we'd written down things like, referencing the mountain or mother goddess, reach the mountain in Sumerian. And again, we're not historians. We don't know anything about the ancient Sumerians. We, watched some Ancient Aliens and stuff like that, but I don't know what this is. I don't know what it wants. I don't know. And again.
Okay. And again, did the Ouija board really spell that out? Like, I can't go just by her words. I have to see the proof. I mean, in 2013, I'm sure there was cell phones with video, like with camera on them, because I know I had one in 2013. shit, I was working in 2013, busting my ass working 2 jobs. So I had a cell phone and I had a camera. So this could have been documented better. She's just coming with a notebook and just saying this. It's just, I could do the same shit. I could get a notebook and just say, yeah, the Ouija board said this. No, show me the evidence. Show me the session. So show me, like, show me the goods. Show the planchette moving and it's spelling the things out and call out the words. So that way it's documented on camera. I mean, to me, I just feel like, I don't know. She says she's not the smartest one of the. She's not smart, and I'm not gonna down her for that. But how do they come to these conclusions? I don't. I can't just go by her word.
And there are so many pages of this, and I'm happy to share them with whoever might be interested. I don't talk about this much with people. We have in the past, when we get a few drinks in us, and we're with people that we think we can trust and who won't think.
So she takes in spirits. She takes in spirits, and then she's buzzed up while on the Ouija board. And who knows if that's what really happens. You know what I mean? I can't give her the benefit of the doubt because there's no evidence. There's no video evidence. There's no true, real documentation. There's no pictures, no nothing, like no video. And no, I need to see the board in action. I'm sorry. And this is I'm not buying this. It's just, it's I just can't. If that's the case, I got a bridge to sell you. I do. I got one. It's been remodeled, and it's all yours for the right price.
Think we're insane. We have shared this with people. They either kind of wave it off, they're like, "Oh, that's cool," or they pretend, they say they're interested, but then they never really follow up and say, "Hey, I'd love to see those. Can you share me on those docs?" So we just kind of assumed either it just kind of like freaks people out, or we just sound nuts, or it's really not that interesting. But so this has just kind of been a private little secret thing that we've had in our lives since 2013. And when we first had this conversation about the end of the world, 2025 felt like forever from then. It just felt like millions of years in the future, but now it's here and our world is crazy. And I don't know. I don't know what to do with this information. Anyway, does anyone out there want to know? Does anyone have any idea what this is and want to look at these documents and help me make sense of it and help me save Seven? Why is his name Seven? I don't know. I don't know what any of this is, but it felt like the right time to share this with people. TikTok felt like the right place for it. I don't know. Let me know. Help me save Seven. Thanks for listening.
Well, I listened to you a few times, and my conclusion is I'm not 100% sold. Just like I said, we need more evidence. I just can't go by her word of mouth. It's just, I'm not in the business of, trusting people just by their word. I need to see evidence, not documentations of your writings and of your sessions. I want to see the session in motion. I want to see it on video. I want to hear you call out each letter and put it together as you guys are claiming. It should have been put on video. So that right there is like a nah. is because sessions could be very powerful with the Ouija board. If you don't know what you're doing, I already had my experience with the Ouija board. So, and I was a very young kid, like very young when all this like happened to me. And it's been stuck on me my whole life. I talked about this so many times before, so it gives me a good reason to go back and watch. I don't know which episode it is, and good luck finding it because it's like a needle in a haystack. That's what happens when you do a lot of shows and you carry your shows on for hours and hours, and now it's like it's overwhelming to go even back to the past and try to look for it. But I spoke upon it before, and I've had a pretty wild experience with the Ouija board. Ouija board is not something that you can just mess around with, um, especially when you're in a deep session, and the concentration is on point. Um, you can get a lot of information. Yes, you can. But when I did it, when I was young and my cousin put me to play with her, which I didn't even know what the damn Ouija board was about. Um, when I played with her, the the planchette would move. You would feel it like pulling. And my cousin looks at me, I look at her, and I'm like, I'm not moving this. She's like, neither am I. I'm not moving it either. And it would move, and it would forcefully move. I'll never forget that. Like a lot of my cousins were asking a lot of questions, and I was just the monkey there, just as a body, a vessel with with my cousin playing it. The only thing I did was put my hands on the planchette, and the things like started moving and started spelling stuff. And I was young. I think I didn't even know how to spell yet. I think I was learning how to spell, but not the words that were coming out of that Ouija board. No way. They're like, "Are you doing this?" I'm like, "Doing what?" I'm not doing anything. This thing's moving like on it, like it's pulling, and it was spelling. It was spelling, and it was like really active. And I know it was me, my energy, that was causing this to happen because my cousin was trying to play with it earlier, and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. And when I got onto it, it was on. It's like a light switch turned on, and it was very active. And that's why my cousins always wanted to play with me. To the point that my cousin brought the Ouija board to my home. I'll never forget that day, ever in my life. What I experienced that day, I will never forget. I talked about it so many times on my show. I might as well just talk about it again because it's part of my PTSD, right? So, yeah, my cousin, she brought over. I had came home from school, and my mom, she made me a sandwich, and she was preparing for dinner, and I was at the table by the window, and I had some homework to do, and I did my homework, and I was like I got everything done. I put it in the bag, and then I someone knocked on the door, and I'm like, my mom went to the door. She looked, and then she opened the door. It was my cousin. It was my cousin, and then she had the Ouija board in her hands. Instead of my mom questioning it at the door and not letting it in, my mom pretty much invited it in. And once it was in my home, it was it. And my cousin asked me if I wanted to play, and my mom questioned my my mom questioned my cousin or her niece, um, what was this game? And my cousin was like, "Well, it speaks to spirits, and you get to get answers from the spirits, and any question you want to answer, you can ask, and it'll tell you answers." So that's what she sold it off, like a problem solver, pretty much. She passed that story to my mom. So I was like, she asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, all right, fine. I was just there. So she took it out of the box and set it up, and that's where it started. We started having a session, and it would answer her questions. It would answer her questions, and I'm not moving it. I'm not moving it. My mom's like, you're moving it. I was like, I'm not moving it. It's moving by itself. I'm not moving it. And I could feel that it's not my cousin moving it either, because I would feel her pulling if it was her, and it was not her. So, I guess we were asking some questions and so forth, and she was asking questions, and then my aunt comes. She knocks on the door, and she opens the door. She comes in, and I'm like, this is weird, because my aunt rarely, very rarely, came over to visit. She wasn't one to visit. She was very, very, like, I don't know what made her come to visit. And when my aunt came, my cousin got up to greet her mom and give her a kiss and a hug. And I had my hand on the board, and the game wasn't closed out. And then something must have gotten into me, because I felt this cold feeling sensation that came in through my hands, from this hand, the left hand, came in through my hand and started rolling up real cold, like ice cold. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not feeling good." And they're like, "What's going on?" I was like, "My hand is super cold on my arm. I feel something creeping up my arm. Is cold." And my aunt, she freaked out, and she pulled me off the Ouija board, and then she started praying over me, and then she told my cousin to go get holy water and all this stuff. And I'm like, why that? It's a little overkill, right? Like, why would, like, she put me on the ground, and she started praying over me, and I was just feeling weird. Like, I just felt this weird energy inside of me, and her prayer wasn't doing nothing. They brought the holy water, and like, put holy water on me. My cousin, she sent her daughter, which was my cousin. She sent her, and she went fast. She ran all the way to the church. They gave her a bottle of holy water, and she came back running. The church wasn't that far. It was literally like down the block, and but she hauled ass and came back and put the holy water on me. And then she started questioning me, "Hey, are you okay? Are you all right?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." And then my aunt told my her daughter, which is my cousin, to take that Ouija board and throw it away. And my aunt went and broke the Ouija board in half. She broke it in half, and without saying goodbye, and threw it away. Ever since that day, there was always some kind of issue. And I spoke about this issue before. I'm not gonna get to the details of it because I could do that on another show. I'm not trying to be here all night. I'm gonna be off here in 14 minutes, so I could give you a quick rundown. Something definitely got into me. Um, Something was guiding me, um, especially like that incident that I had in that apartment where I was sleeping and something woke me up. Something woke me up and something was talking to me, and it was whispered on my left ear. And I would hear it in my right ear, and I would hear it in my left ear, but behind me, like right, like literally, like it was like right here, and it was telling me, like warning me about something that's gonna happen. And that's when he was. I'll never forget the hand that came into the room. I'll never forget that hand. As soon as that hand came into the room, like through the window and through the shades, we had bars. We had protector bars, so we had bars on the windows. But he opened the window and took down the shade, and then put his hand inside. That freaked me out to the point that I froze. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. And the spirit was telling me, don't move, don't say anything, stay quiet, like don't move. He was trying to calm me down. And I was like, I was in shock. I couldn't move anything. My body was paralyzed. I could not move. And then the hand backs away. And then the spirit is like, talking to me and telling me, that he told me again that like he's coming back. Like when he said that, I freaked out because I was like, the next thing I know, the hand is coming back through the window, and it's like more aggressive, and he was doing like this in the window. And after that, he pulled his hand out, and after he did that, I guess I was so much in fear that I passed out. I passed out, and my dad woke me up, and actually I was running late because my sister was ready, and they let me sleep, but then they woke me up, and then my dad was like, "You gotta get ready. Let's go to the bathroom, brush your teeth. Let's go." And I got up, and I went to my parents' room. And I was like, there was something in my room last night. There was a hand in my room, and my dad was like, "What? Like, what do you mean?" I go, "There was a hand in my room." It's like, "Oh, you were probably dreaming, or you're probably like having a nightmare. You know, it's okay. It's nothing." I was like, "No, there was a hand in my room. It was a hand in there. I know it's a hand." So my dad's like, all right, go brush your teeth and so forth. I'm gonna talk to your mom about this. So my dad goes into my bedroom because I share the bedroom with my sister. So he goes inside there, and my mom goes in. So they start talking, but lightly. So they start talking, and I'm finishing brushing my teeth, and I walk into the room, to my room, and the next thing you know, as soon as I walk in, the hand pops out inside the room. My mom screams to the top of her lungs. My dad was like, "What the fuck?" And he almost ran me over. He went to go grab his gun. He grabbed his gun and he ran after the guy. True story. And I'm gonna come with fucking receipts. The main receipt is my mother. is the main receipt. My father also. My sister, not so much. She was little. I don't think she remembers anything. I don't think she remembers what I went through, the trauma that I went through. PTSD was horrible. It was hard to sleep in that room. I refused to sleep in that room when all that happened. I was starting to sleep in the couch in the living room, and I would stay in the living room because I didn't feel safe in that room, even though the room had bars. It's wild. Well, it was a good show. Reminisced a little bit. And there's more to the story, but you guys are gonna have to go scavenger hunting. And I'm sorry in advance. And for the ones that are rewatching, thank you very much for rewatching, and thank you for the support and the views. They're not that high, but one is it's good, and I'm in the 10, you know, around the teens, 10, 11, 12, views per video. So at least there are people watching, which is amazing. Thank you very much. Um, get me now while it's slow, because I think and I have a feeling it's gonna get busy, and I will be pushed again, and other people will be coming through on my show, and we get to experience other energies from other people. It's like, I think this is like the third class. I feel like the each season that I have is like a graduating class, and then they graduate, and then they move on, and then I have those that stay here and are the loyal ones, and I appreciate it. Like, I'll be um, loyal. Thank you. Um, but my book, my story, my life is very unique. I have so many stories of everything that has happened, and I have the receipts. And I want to do a show one day with my mother. That would be a crazy show. That would be one of the most craziest shows, I think, and I come with receipts. I think that's what I would call the show. If um I come with receipts, and I put like featuring Mama Rick. Rick's mom, the one that has that could tell you. I used to see ghosts when I was little. That's how I know I was special. That's how I knew something about me was just unique. I used to see spirits. I used to see like boys and men. I used to see spirits, and I had spirits always talking to me and guiding me. I got into really bad trouble because of spirits. Because this is one entity that got into me from the Ouija board, really guided me into places that I'd never been before. I always felt like it was a Native American spirit that got into me, and he wasn't a bad spirit or anything like that, but he was more of a traveler. He he was always in motion. He always go and and I believe he was a Seminole Indian that got into me, and I felt the energy pushing me as a youngling to areas that I did not even know of. I've never been down these roads before, and he was guiding me to the Miami River, and I think that's where he used to be at a lot of, like, during his lifetime was around the river. And I would go to the swimming pool by the Miami River, and they had a diving board. They had like the pool, like the deep end. That's where the diving boards were, and then you had the community area where everybody's swimming. I was always there at that pool, and that pool from my home was a good walking. It's about a 45-minute to an hour walk, I believe. I don't know. I will have to measure the distance when I get a chance. I could probably do it through my phone because I kind of remember the area, just to measure the distance to see how long would it take walking. Because I would like to know how long. And me at a young age, I was like 9 years old when this was happening. I skipped school to do these adventures because the spirit was guiding me. I got in trouble for that. You know who knows the truth? My mom. Because she's the one that whooped my ass. Between her and my father. I thought I was in a tag team fight, and I was just it was a it was 2-on-1. And I didn't win. But I did shapen up, even having this entity in me. And I still pushed because my will was still in there. Yes, I had that spirit in me, but I still have mine. And I guess we learned to work together. But it really fucked me up at a young age. Young age. I just knew how to get around. Without ever going there, I already knew how to get around. Like, even my mom was amazed. Like what the? Like, how the hell did this kid do this? Like, since I was little, I remember, like, after that Ouija board stuff, like, I remember my parents took me to this babysitter, and the home of this babysitter was about a mile away. Literally, it was a mile away, and they dropped us off at the house there. And remember that this entity is inside of me, and I ran home from the babysitter. Like, when my parents left, they went back home. They could have went on their date and not gone home, and then I would have ran to the house and nobody would have been there, and then the story could have been different. I would have had to run back to the house and then stay at the house. But it so happens that when I ran back to the house, I ran a mile, crossing a 4-lane like road to get to my house. And I was so young. I was about 6, 7, 6, 7 years old. My mom, she's like, "What the fuck? How the fuck?" I'll never forget those words. What the fuck and how the fuck did he, like, she was freaking out. She was freaking out. My dad was like freaked the fuck out. He's like, "How the hell you get here? Like, what is going on?" Like, yeah, yeah. They put me in the car. They drove me back over there. They were kind of mad because they were supposed to be watching me, and they let. And then I escaped, and it was just my parents ended up like not going out on the date, and I got in trouble and punished and sent to bed, and my parents were just like astonished. They were like, "Wow, yeah." Like I could write a book, man. I definitely would have like a good book. I would need to have someone write it up because I'm not gonna do all this writing. I'm not gonna do all the writing. But it'll be a good little tell. I talked about it so many times. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I always get a sign. Spirits, they're always around. They're always here. They always let me know they're around, and I know they're always around. I'll finish the show when I finish my joint. Crazy. I went through crazy times, man. Really crazy moments in my life. All these experiences, especially with the spirits. The spirits, there's something else because especially New York. New York is wild with spirits. It's just so infiltrated with spirits there. We got a lot of spirits in New York. I had an experience when I was little with a little boy in the fire escape. Never will forget that. The little boy at the fire escape asking me if I want to play. I woke up because I needed to use the restroom, and I went to use the restroom, and the little boy was standing outside in the fire escape asking me if I wanted to play with him. White shirt, blue shorts, holding a ball. And he had like that crop top, like kind of like the haircut I used to have when I was growing up. So it looked like they're like the bow haircuts. They're like the little bow. And you put the bow on the top and you cut the hair. So I call it like the bow haircut. I saw that little boy. And then my aunt used to see the little boy too, and she thought she was going crazy because she went to counseling. She went to all the like, she thought she was going crazy because kept saying she saw this little boy, and the little boy wouldn't leave her alone. And it so happens that I woke up and went to use the bathroom. The little boy was there, and he was telling me if I wanted to play with him. And I told him I needed to use the restroom. Then I went to use the restroom. I had to pee, And when I came out, I looked to the right to see if the little boy was there, and he wasn't there. He was gone. So I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, that's when I told my mom. I like my mom, she's like, your aunt, she made you breakfast and go brush your teeth and get ready real quick and go eat your breakfast. I was like, I was like, I went and brushed my teeth and I came to the room and I was like, and I remember about the boy and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, come here. So she comes to the room. She's like, what? I was like, I saw something last night. She's like, what? I go, I saw a ghost of a little boy. I thought it was a little boy. I saw a little boy standing outside there holding a ball. He wanted me to come play with him. My aunt overheard that and she came running. She's like, what you said? And I was like, I got scared. And my mom was like, no, it's okay, Rick. Just tell your aunt what you just said. I go, I woke up at night because I needed to use the bathroom. And I walked down the hall and I saw a little boy outside there holding a ball. And he was asking me if I wanted to play with him. And I used the bathroom. I came back out and he was gone. And I went back to sleep. My aunt told me, I made you a sandwich. Go to the kitchen and go eat. And I go, sandwich? She's like, yeah, the way you like it with the French bread. I was like, ooh, I love me French bread, like sandwiches, especially the New York style French bread. And the way my aunt made the sandwich, oh my gosh, so freaking delicious. But I overheard my aunt saying, oh my God. Like, and my mom's like, what's going on? What happened? She's like, you don't understand. That's the little boy I've been seeing. And your son saw it. And I was overhearing this because I was walking like slow to the kitchen. And I overheard them saying that, yeah, she thought she was going crazy and that she was going to commit herself to an institute because she thought she was going crazy because she kept seeing this little boy. And I came as the confirmation because nobody seen the little boy. Nobody could see the little boy but me. And I saw him. And I think that brought so much relief to my aunt. And I think it made the little boy mad because my mom didn't let me stay there that night. Like my aunt and my mom said, yeah, we're going to pack up your things and we're going to take it over to your aunt later because you're going to stay over there tonight, okay? So your other aunt, she wants to spend time with you. Which is not true. They didn't want me to be there. So I go and they drop me off to my aunt's house. So I'm just there with my aunt. And my little cousin, he's just been born. He's just he's a baby. And my aunt's like, all right, well, we're going to go. We have to go out because we have to do some errand. So you're coming with us, okay? And it's like, where are we going? It's like, we're going to go to the supermarket. Okay. All right. As you didn't have to worry about me in the supermarket because I wasn't one of those kids that go crazy in the supermarket. I was really chilled out. And my aunt was like, you want something? And she goes, you can have anything you want. Like, what you want? I was like, I want a box of cereal. And I ended up getting a box of cereal. And we came back to the apartment and we went upstairs and my other cousins had arrived, I guess, from school and so forth. And when I got up, my aunt, first thing she said is like, if anybody touched this box, I'm gonna beat you up. This is Rick's box. And I was like, That was pretty cool. That was kind of badass. I was like, damn, nobody's gonna interrupt me, and I can eat it freely without having other people hogging my shit. Okay. So I ended up staying there that night, right? And I fall asleep. We receive a phone call. The phone woke everybody up because back in the days we had the old rotary phones. So it was like the old school phones. So my aunt had like the most creepiest phone because when that thing rang, it wakes everybody up. It's a loud ass fucking bell. So it started ringing around 3 something in the morning. And my aunt picks up and she's like, hello. And they're like, are you this and this and that? And they're like, yeah, what's going on? And it's like, we need for you to come over here. There's been a fire at this location here, and it seems like it's going to be a total loss. So my aunt's like freaking out. So she's getting ready, and I'm like, huh? She's like, no, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. I gotta go somewhere real quick. There's a little emergency going on, but it's okay. Just go back to sleep. All right. I was like, and then I passed out and went back to sleep. And then my aunt ran over there, and my my family that was staying with it. I mean, my sister, my mom, uh, and then I think my sister ended up in the hospital, and some of my family members stayed in the hospital too. Some of the kids for smoke inhalation, um, but it was a fire, and thank goodness, thank God, nobody was killed. And I always felt that the spirit got mad because it realized it found me, and I was able to see him. So he had the child energy that's able to see spirits, and they took me away from there. And my aunt was probably talking a lot about the spirit that was there, and talking to my mom. I'm gonna question her about it. And I'm pretty sure she was talking a lot about the spirit to the point that the spirit probably got mad and started the fire. I think the spirit started the fire there and burned down the apartment that night that I was in there, and that they took me away from there because I saw the spirit. I saw the little boy. And that's what one of my gifts since I had since I was young. I was able to see dead people. Yeah, like the movie, like The Sixth Sense. That's me. That was me. I'm able to see dead people. I was able to see dead people, and they would talk to me all the time. But don't worry, I will come with receipts. I don't know how soon, but soon there will be a special. The truth will always set you free, no matter what. That's how I know it. The truth will always set you free. And I always felt like there was something in me, you know. And still to this day, I still feel it in me. It's not like it's not as aggressive as it was in the beginning. In the beginning, it was really aggressive with me and had me do a lot of things. A lot of things. But it's okay. Everything happens for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I'm here as a witness, like every one of you. And when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But we all have a clock, and it's all in a countdown. We just don't know when. I have a feeling of my time when my time is up. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm not gonna be one to be here for long. I witnessed a lot. I witnessed so much. I witnessed the horrible 4 years of Biden and Kamala, and her trying to win an election by not even being nominated. Like she was just thrown into the position without having no convention, no nothing. Didn't even earn it. DEI didn't even earn it. Didn't earn it. Didn't earn it. I witnessed Trump get shot live. It brought me back so much memories. It brought me back memories when the Challenger exploded, and I witnessed it on TV. And my parents pulled me away from the television because they didn't want me to watch anymore. I knew it exploded. My parents didn't tell me nothing else about it. I found out more by the school than I did from my parents. I remember that moment. I remember big moments that happened in my life, like 9/11. I remember I was sleeping. I was in Florida. I was living in Hialeah, East Hialeah, and when the first plane crashed into the World Trade Center and the special report came out, my mom she kind of ran to my room and woke me up, and she told me, turn on the television. There's something going on in New York. I think a plane crashed into the Trade Center. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah. Like there's something big's happening. So I'm there watching it from my room, and then after a while, the second plane hits the Trade Center, and that's when I knew that something's really big happening. Something urgently is happening. You felt the energy. You felt like in the air. It was like it was fear. And they were able to penetrate using our aircrafts, right? If I was to tell you the truth of 9/11, they would censor me on YouTube. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it goes. I will be censored. They'll probably take my channel down because I already know. Allegedly, remote controls. Oh shit! I said too much. Um, yeah, I know a lot. All I gotta do is astral project, and I can see things. I can't wait for that stories to come out. They're gonna come out too. I can't wait for Trump to release it. Trump is a man. He's so fierce right now. He is so. That's why the Democrats they hate him because they can't be him. They can't. They can't. He has so much experience. That the Democrats they look like first day rookie on the job. And Trump runs circles all around them. But we are going to witness something really big happening. We witness a lot of deaths. We witness Kobe Bryant dying from a helicopter crash. Michael Jackson, which I still question. That one there, I still don't believe the truth is out on that story. The real truth. Witness Prince dying. The Queen, Elizabeth. I witnessed a couple of popes die. I went through a couple of popes. And there's going to be more important days come. I know Trump is going to end up on Mount Rushmore. He will end up at Mount Rushmore. Democrats are going to hate it. They're going to hate it. But I think he's going to really earn their respect, and he will be placed up there. Rightfully so. I'm sorry, but he is meant to be. Yeah. When you're the one, you're the one. Doesn't matter how you got there. You're there. And that man, it's a hard-working man. His whole life, he's been a hard worker. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's give it like 5 minutes, and I can wrap it up at 11:30. So that was our end of the world. Was the Ouija board wrong? I don't think the Ouija board was wrong. I think she just got the information. Probably, I don't know how she got, because she come to that conclusion without like proper evidence, especially if you should have recorded the session instead of just showing us your notebook, because anybody could do that and write things on a notebook and just come up with a date and just say something, so that just sucks on her. But if I was to do something like that, it would definitely has to be a recorded session, and because everything has to be written down, and I'm not going to take the time to stop a session to write things down. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Because you see all the pages and pages of all the stuff that she had of conversations. I'm like, that's a little bit too much. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, no video recording, no, not even a digital tape or a little cassette player to record at least the conversation, like the questioning of the board and the reaction and how they felt when they were writing those 00111001, all that stuff, the binary code. Like, what was their true reaction to it? Like, stuff like that. Like, I want to feel the session. And I just feel like I got like a second hand, like, I just, for stuff like that, you have to like put it in film and put it in a good angle where they can see what's going on. All right. Like I said, the only thing that was crazy today was the Trump calling Putin crazy. That was crazy. And the shooting here by my mall. That's not too far from. I don't even go to that mall. I don't go to malls. I do my shopping online, so I don't go to the malls. Malls are not like really good places to be in, especially these times. That's what's called soft targets. Malls are soft targets. If you want mass casualties, malls are very easy targets. And there's no proper really good security. Like, you need, for a real big mall, you should have like a police station within the mall. If it's a big mall, to always have like police always there. So yeah, it's just security's gonna have to go up. People have to be more vigilant. There's gonna be more things happening. Stay away from large crowds, um, at all costs. You're safe at home. Always remember that you're always safe at home. And if you do go to large crowds, just always keep your head on a pedestal and make sure you check your surroundings and make sure everything's good, because all it takes is a second for something to go bad, and you have a 50-50 chance of coming out of that situation alive. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for, like I said, watching, and for those rewatching, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm tired. I had a good smoke, good show. Just make sure, hit your little like buttons and subscribe. Like, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that have to repeat that shit. That sounds stupid. Just do what what you should be doing. And yeah, I'm going to bed. So everyone have a good night, a good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you're located. And I definitely will catch everybody on the flip side, because I am so tired. It just hit me so hard. It's just talking about all this energy, and I get drained, and I'm ready for the bed. So good night. And like I said, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace for now.